This is my final offer. Take it or leave it, I'm not playing games with you.
Why did the junkyard owner refuse $50,000 for this wreck? Frank Walsh had sold plenty of things in his life he probably shouldn't have. But this was the first time anyone had ever offered him $50,000 for a pile of rust, and the first time he'd ever said no without a second's hesitation. The black SUV pulled through the gate of Walsh Salvage just after 10 that morning, kicking up dust that didn't settle for a full minute. A man stepped out in a suit that cost more than Frank's truck, sunglasses pushed up into slicked hair, phone already in hand before his second foot hit the gravel. "You're the owner?" the man said, not looking up from his screen. "Dalton. I collect vintage trucks. My guy found a listing, a 68 in your back lot. Says it's rusted out, non-running." Frank wiped his hands on the rag he always kept in his back pocket and nodded slowly toward the far corner of the yard, where an old truck sat under a torn tarp, more rust than metal in places, one headlight gone entirely. "That's not for sale," Frank said. Dalton finally looked up. "Everything's for sale. That's a rare trim limited production. I'll give you $50,000 cash today. You won't see an offer like that twice in your life." Frank didn't answer right away. He walked over to the truck instead, rested a hand on the hood the way you'd rest a hand on an old friend's shoulder, and let the silence sit there long enough that Dalton's smug expression started to falter. "Fella," Frank said finally, "I've got engines out here worth more than your suit, and I've turned down better offers than this one. That truck's not mine to sell." "I don't understand. This is a junkyard. Isn't everything here technically yours?" "Technically," Frank said. "Yeah. But some things you hold on to because holding on to them is the whole job." Dalton laughed, short and condescending, the kind of laugh men like him used instead of actually listening. "Look, old man, I don't think you understand how business works. I'm offering you more than this lot's probably worth." "I understand business fine," Frank said quietly. "I just don't do it the way you do." Dalton left in a huff, tires spitting gravel on his way out, muttering something about small-town nonsense loud enough for Frank to hear. Frank just stood there a while longer, hand still resting on the hood, and thought about the boy who was going to walk through that gate in about 6 hours, same as he did every Thursday after his shift at the hardware store. 3 years earlier, a man named Daniel Ruiz had brought that truck in himself, towed behind a rental trailer, barely able to look at it. It had been his father's, the same truck his dad had taught him to drive in, out on the back roads behind their old house, the same truck that had been totaled in the accident that took his father 2 winters back. Daniel couldn't afford to fix it, couldn't bear to sell it to a stranger, and couldn't bear to look at it sitting in his mother's driveway every single day either. "Just hold on to it for me," Daniel had said that day, voice cracking. "Someday I'll have the money to fix it right. Don't sell it, please." Frank had shaken his hand and said the only thing that felt honest. "It'll be here when you're ready." That had been 3 years, and Daniel Ruiz was 19 now, saving every dollar from the hardware store toward parts, coming by every Thursday to sit in the driver's seat for 20 minutes, just to remember what his father's hands had felt like on that same wheel. If you believe some things are worth more than money, take a moment right now and hit that like button. Because what Frank was about to hand Daniel that afternoon is exactly why this channel exists. That afternoon, right on schedule, Daniel walked through the gate, tired from his shift, and found Frank waiting by the truck instead of in the office. "Get it. Some news today," Frank said. "Fella came by, offered $50,000 cash for her." Daniel's face went white. "Did you?" "Told him she wasn't for sale. Told him some things aren't mine to sell, even if my name's on the deed." Frank pulled a small cardboard box from his coat pocket and held it out. "Also found this wedged behind the glove box when I was cleaning dust out last week. Figured it belonged to you, not me." Inside was a small leather notebook, water-stained but legible, Daniel's father's handwriting, dozens of entries logging every drive, every lesson, every small milestone. The last entry, dated 2 days before the accident, simply read, "Danny's getting good. Might let him drive us to the lake this summer." Daniel sat down right there in the gravel, notebook pressed against his chest, and for a long moment neither of them said anything at all. You could have taken the 50,000, Daniel finally managed. Nobody would have blamed you. Would have blamed myself, Frank said simply. That's worse. He helped Daniel load the truck onto a trailer that evening. Not sold, not scrapped, just finally going home, 3 years late, but exactly on time in every way that mattered. Some men fix cars. Frank just makes sure the right things find their way back to the right people. If you believe in kindness and humanity, take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to Kindness Tale Stories for more real stories of hidden kindness just like this one. What would you have done in Frank's place? Let us know in the comments below. Would $50,000 have changed your answer?